Hi there. Well, today I would like to explain you how I created this VPS setup and remote access workflow, which is very useful for me while traveling. Well, so in this image, I try to summarize the whole process. So in the center there is a VPS hosted on Google Cloud, and a VPS is basically a remote computer that stays online 24/7. So what it means, like I can connect to the server from my Mac, for example, and using the terminal and SSH connection, which is a secure connection from my Mac or from my iPhone to this VPS. So yeah, and at the same time I use tmux, which keeps the sessions running even when I disconnect or close my laptop. So what does it mean? Like, for example, I can plan for the whole day AI automation task for hours, for example, from 3 to 6 hours. I prepare everything for there. I start the task on Claude Code, and then I can check from my phone if this is working properly, if I need some human in the loop, and yeah, that's it. So the Mac and the iPhone are simply two different ways of accessing the same remote development environment. So let's see now how I created this process. How I build this process using Codex, and then I will show you how is this working from my phone. So the first step was creating the VPS in Google Cloud. I opened Google Cloud Console and created a new virtual machine using Ubuntu as the operating system. I selected the processor, memory, storage, network settings, and region for the server. Once the virtual machine was created, Google Cloud assigned an external IP address to it. This IP address allows me to connect to the server remotely through the internet. The VPS works like an independent computer. It has its own operating system folders, application, and terminal. The main difference is that it is hosted remotely and remains available even when my Mac is switched off. Instead of configuring every part of the server manually, I used Codex to help automate the initial setup. I explained the environment I wanted to create and the tools I needed for remote AI development. Codex helped me update Ubuntu, install the required development tools, prepare the folder structure, configure utilities, and check that everything was working correctly. It also helped me prepare the VPS for Git, project repositories, Claude Code, and persistent terminal sessions. This made the process much faster because Codex could generate commands, execute the setup steps, check the results, and help solve problems during the configuration. I still review the important settings, but Codex helps automate much of the repetitive technical work. After preparing the server, I configure secure access from my Mac. For this connection, I use SSH, which means secure shell, and it creates an encrypted connection between my Mac and the VPS. Instead of using a normal password, I configured an SSH key. The private key remains on my device, while the public key is authorized on the server. From the Mac terminal, I can connect to the VPS using the server username and IP address. I also create a simple shortcut so I do not need to type the complete SSH command every time. Once connected, the terminal is no longer controlling my Mac. It is controlling the Ubuntu server in Google Cloud. From there, I can install tools, manage files, clone repositories, check Git, run tests, and work directly inside my project. The next step was connecting my iPhone to the same VPS. For this, I use an application called Termius. Termius is an SSH client that gives me direct terminal access from the phone. I added the external IP address of the server, my Ubuntu username, and the SSH key used for authentication. Once the connection was configured, I could open Termius, select the VPS, and access the same remote terminal that I use for my Mac. From the iPhone, I can navigate between project folders, check logs, review Git status, monitor running processes, and reconnect to active terminal sessions. So the phone is not running the project itself, it is simply giving me remote control over the VPS. This is especially useful when I'm traveling or when I do not have my computer with me. Inside the VPS, I installed Claude Code so that it can work directly with the project files on the remote server. Claude Code can inspect repositories, edit files, run tests, read documentation, and help complete development tasks. To keep these sessions running after I disconnect, I use a tool called tmux. tmux creates persistent terminal sessions inside the VPS. Normally, a process may stop when the terminal connection is closed. With tmux, the session continues running on the server. I can start Claude Code inside a named tmux session, disconnect from the VPS, and later reconnect to exactly the same session. This means I can begin a long task from my Mac, close the laptop, and later check the progress from my iPhone. Even if the mobile connection is interrupted, the Claude Code session continues running inside the VPS. Termius gives me the access to the terminal. tmux keeps the session alive, and Claude Code continues working inside the project. The final result is a secure, always-on AI development environment that I can access from almost everywhere. Google Cloud provides the infrastructure, the VPS acts as the remote computer, SSH creates the secure connection, and Termius gives me access from the iPhone. tmux keeps my terminal sessions alive, while Claude Code works directly inside remote projects. I can start a task from my Mac, leave it running on the VPS, and later continue supervising it from my iPhone. My projects, tools, logs, and AI sessions stays available in one central environment. This setup gives me much more flexibility when traveling and allows me to manage long AI tasks without keeping my Mac open all the time. And this is the AI remote workflow I created.